Hey, so I'm going to go through my review for my 2020 goals. So it's that time of year where I'm obviously planning ahead, making goals for 2021. So I said I'd share my review for 2020 and give an insight into my 2021 goals as well. So I think the theme of reviewing my 2020 goals is that I set the bar way too high for a lot of them. Looking back on some of them now, like they could have been kind of 1 to 3 year goals. So from all the ones that I have here, I think there was like 19. I hit, I think it was 4 or 5 out of 19. So obviously, when you look like that, it doesn't look like a very successful year in terms of my training. But obviously, I know from the day to day and the progress I've made, I have made a lot of progress so far. So yeah, that's one thing that I've looked at for the 2021 goals, which I'll show you after. But yeah, a little bit more realistic in terms of the 1 year, and yeah, a bit more specific for a few of them as well, because as you'll see when I go through them, some of them didn't have any specific goal for them. It was just like to improve at X. Well, you know, if you're not very specific on it, you're not going to know, yeah, if you're hitting those goals or not. So starting off, upper body. So the one I'm chasing, one arm chin up. You know, I thought I would get it in 2020, back when I made the goal, a bit naively. Still haven't got it. Obviously, I'm this March in 2021. I'll have been training towards it for 3 years. So yeah, one arm chin up, not an easy goal to go after. But yeah, I think 2021 will be the year for it. I'm going to be testing it maybe around March, then obviously June, and then I suppose I said this last year, I really think it will happen in 2021, but we're going to find out. So yeah, you know, I should have just put in maybe a bit more realistic goal of how far I was going to improve towards the one arm chin up. I basically got to like 13 second one arm chin eccentric, and on the pulley system I'm down to like 12 kg on it. So the pulley system is just a counterweight. So basically, I know it won't work exactly like that, but if I was 12 kg less in my own weight, I'd be able to do one arm chin up. So you can see with that pulley anyway that I'm getting closer and closer towards it. So yeah, didn't hit the one arm chin up. It's going into next year's goals. The one I actually did hit, the handstand push up. So delighted at that one. That came as a bit of a shock. So this was another goal. I'm working towards these two the same amount of time. So, you know, what would that have been? 2 years, 6 months, 7 months or something like that. I actually hit it on a day where I didn't want to train, you know, so going back to discipline equals freedom, just showing up, you know, there's good days and bad days. A bit like a stock chart, you know, over the year you should see more steady line going up, but you know, when you zoom into the weeks, the months, it's, you know, like all these ups and downs that you don't really see from the outside. And yeah, progress isn't linear, you know, if you're watching people on Instagram thinking every session is great, it's not. So yeah, with that one, just showed up one day and I got it when I knew I was close enough. I didn't think I'd get it that day though, so I was delighted with that one. I suppose one more point on that as well, like I remember reading things online, you have to have a 30-second handstand to get the handstand push-up, etc, etc. I can't even do a 10-second handstand, so, you know, the rules don't always check out either, you know, just trying things, testing things is the best way to go about it. Still haven't got one since now, so it was, not that it was a fluke because I did it, but yeah, obviously having the better handstand would help, but yeah, got the handstand push-up, was delighted with that one. Planche, like to get a full planche, Jesus, that's a 5-year goal, maybe even more, like it's extremely hard to do. So that's why I was going to put in a regression from it, and looking back I didn't even do it. So again, just my plan wasn't great here, didn't put in a specific goal for it. I think I was meant to put in tuck planche, didn't even get that because again, there was no specific goal here. So as the year goes on, I was concentrating more on these, didn't really pay attention to that. So yeah, didn't really make much planche progress, made a small bit, but nothing great. And these here as well, I should have said, they're just free gains. So look, I like to see how my training's crossing over. I don't train to get max pull-ups, but now it's at 15. So when I tested it, it's at 15. I was hoping when I get the one arm chin up, it'll be around 25. I think it'll be around 20. So again, it's just, the stronger you are, the more endurance you will have for certain things like this. So just by working to get stronger, these are going to go up as well. And yeah, with the horizontal pushing of the planche, my bench is going up for free too. It's not at 100 kg, don't know why I have that down. It's at 80 kg now, so I should have got 85, but I kind of messed up on it, hitting the pins when I was doing it. So I'm at 80 at the moment, but yeah, my bench press is going up just from the planche gains, which is pretty cool. Front lever, didn't really work on it, like something more to say there really. I had it down there as a kind of, yeah, last goal. Barely did anything on it, so yeah, you know, what you prioritise improves. If you don't prioritise it, it's not going to improve. So yeah, upper body goals, hit 1 out of 4. not too bad, I guess, because they're all kind of pretty high level goals. If you only started strength training seriously in the last couple of years, I think is the best way to put it. So yeah, lower body, 140 kg squat. Yeah, so I basically got a knee injury just before COVID. It was very actually close to the start of COVID from Jiu-Jitsu, and yeah, a couple of months rehabbing that, and then gyms are closed, etc. Even though I have my own squat rack out there, so no excuse really. But yeah, that knocked off course for about 6 months. So yeah, no improvement in my max squat over the year. So last Christmas I got like a 105 kg squat. Didn't beat that because obviously from the injury you can't just jump back to the same weight, etc. So yeah, didn't hit that one. Didn't hit any of these actually. I had a bodyweight knees over toes split squat at 72 kg. You know, another kind of squat goal again. The knee issue and other things and excuses. Didn't hit those. Middle splits and the pancake. So they were more, you know, mobility, flexibility goals rather than strength. Middle splits. This could take another 1, 2, 3 years. I don't know. Like it's a position that's very, very doesn't feel good at all for me. Like, you know, I suppose if you know my story at this stage, you know, loads of hip issues going back. The positions that were the worst for me were like internal rotation and abduction. So basically middle splits type position. So yeah, it's horrible training. I am getting very small gains. But yeah, as I'm saying, look, don't settle, play the long game, keep chasing small gains, be consistent. It is inevitable in time. You know, I've proved that with the front split. You know, told that was impossible. With the hip issues that I've had, I've got that. You know, that took 2 years. You know, so it'd be the same story with the middle splits. 1 year, 3 year, 5 years, doesn't matter to me. But I'm going to set a more realistic goal next year. So calves to floor is what I'm going to look for next year, which I'll explain later. But yes, didn't get that one. Pancake. Probably made the most progress on the pancake for the lower body. I got, you know, from being very bad at it, like everybody is starting off, I got head to floor. So if I said a head to floor pancake, I suppose I could have ticked that off, but I wanted chest to floor. I wanted a full flat pancake, which I didn't get, so I got head to floor. So I did make good progress on that, but then, yeah, didn't fully get it. So we're getting there. That has to go into 2021 goals as well. So then over, Jiu-Jitsu was over here, so BJJ, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. The goal was, yeah, progress as a blue belt and go at least 3 times per week. So no real kind of concrete goal there, but just to improve and progress on it. Go 3 times a week was the marker I wanted to stick to. So I was doing that before COVID. Again, yeah, not too much I can really do about that one when COVID hit. But yeah, look, again, make progress, make excuses. What can I, you know, it's no point just sitting back and saying you can't do it. So next year now, I'm changing this to a martial arts goal where if I can't do jiu-jitsu, I'm going to do kickboxing or something else because I can do it out in the shed. So yeah, that jiu-jitsu was a bit of a write-off. What I've done here, yeah, conditioning. So it was to get my heart rate into the 40s, basically get a lot fitter, a lot better cardio, and didn't hit that. You know, my resting heart rate is usually around 56-ish. So this is what I'm kind of measuring off. It was to get that down into the 40s, and got as close as maybe 52 at one stage, I think, but never got down into the 40s. But again, probably not the best goal to have there because there can be lots of different factors coming into your heart rate. But I really, yeah, I'll put in more specific goals next year, things that I can hit, because while I can lower it, I can't necessarily get mine into the 40s. Like in what I'm saying there, where when I wasn't training jiu-jitsu and things like that, the heart rate might be up average on 58. Even when I'm doing like jiu-jitsu 3 times a week, training all this stuff, training a lot, it was still only down around 54, and it wouldn't improve much after that. So again, I'll make that more specific over here. Yeah, so loads of kind of skill goals as well. For gymnastics, we'd front flip, back flip, side flip. So I actually got the front flip. So when we started gymnastics last year, got the front flip after maybe a month or 2. Then COVID hit, couldn't go back and do the rest of them. So look, again, could be practicing back flips and side flips in the shed or whatever. I just don't really want to risk it, to be honest. I'm not risking, you know, breaking my neck trying to learn a backflip just to hit that goal. So look, hopefully get back to, yeah, I just made the decision. Look, I know make progress, make excuses. With the gymnastic ones, I'm going to leave that to working with people who know what they're doing in the gymnastics club. I'm not going to work on them flips anywhere else. So yeah, got 1 out of 3 there. Also had handstand and kip up goals. So we got the kip up as well. That's one, you know, you can practice that kind of anywhere. It's not that dangerous. Handstand, didn't even put in the specifics of it there again. So I think I had in my mind a 30-second handstand. Didn't get it. Got to like 6-second handstand, I think it was. So what, got 2 out of the 2 out of the 5 there. For the juggling goal, so I had a goal of getting a 6-ball juggle in a year from never juggling before. So the reason I have that goal is because I want to show you amazing adaptability of the human body and the power of tiny gains together, and how saying things like, I don't have enough time, it's a false narrative. It's not really true. We all have the same 24 hours in the day. You're going to find someone who's doing the things that you want to do, they haven't created extra time. So I only do the juggling 5 to 10 minutes a day max, and it's not even every day. So 5 to 10 minutes a day max, and I've gone from not being able to juggle, I got up to a 5-ball juggle, like a 7-throw 5-ball juggle. So it's just the power of tiny gains. You're using, if you have a pension, you're using it, putting in very insignificant amounts of money. That's not going to sustain you when you're older, but it's over time. It's a compound interest over time. Same with the juggling. It's only 5 or 10 minutes a day. You'd think that's nothing. That's 60 hours over 1 year. Give 60 hours to anything. Learn a language, professional advancement in your job, learning new things, any skills, mobility. It's going to improve. It can't not improve. If you're doing it with intent, it can't not improve. So that's what I'm showing you. If you did this with your body, how would you be moving? This is how it started for me. 10 years of chronic pains, totally give up things I love to do. Your body isn't able. I started with that, just consistently doing bits of mobility on my body, and I could start to see the changes after a while, and I could see its power. And you can use it with anything. Just think of that example for me to doing all this stuff. People telling me 3 years ago, it's, time to pack it in, time to settle. So that's what I'm showing you with the juggling. Got up to 7-throw 5-ball juggle, and so didn't get the 6-ball, obviously. 3 and 4-ball tricks, I got them, so I take that off. But next year the goal is just to get the 6-ball juggle. So 60 hours to go from a 5-ball to a 6-ball seems reasonable. We'll see. Then had breakdancing goals here as well. I wasn't specific on it, so barely did any of it. I did a bit near the end of the year, so I can do things like the 6-step, the freeze, but I could kind of do them already. So very small bits of progress. I started on the windmill now, so I have ones picked out for the 2020 goals that I want to work towards. And then, just for, if anyone's watching me and thinking I'm a whatever discipline machine and I'm always consistent, no, like as you can see from here, I'm not exactly hitting too many goals. There's a piano right there, and I think I did 3 sessions in a year. So whatever, just be honest with yourself, don't kid yourself. I didn't prioritize it like, some of the other ones here, whatever, like front lever, didn't prioritize them. What you prioritize improves. If you don't, just don't kid yourself on it, it's fine. No one's a machine, just, plan it better next time. So that's all the goals there. What did I say? Out of like kind of 19 training physical goals, hit, was it 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 out of 19. So look, like I said, learn a bit on the plan for that one, be more specific and put them a little bit more realistic for 2021. So I'll show you the 2021 goals now. So now I have the 2021 goals in. So a lot of them are going to be similar or the same, because like I said before, the ones from before like were maybe 2 or 3 year length goals rather than for 1 year. So some of them are still in there. I've changed around a few other things, and like I was saying, I've made a few of them a bit more specific too. So for upper body, the main one is still 1-arm chin up, and like I said, I think that'll transfer over to 20 chin ups for max reps. Handstand push-up, so since I got 1, I'm going for 5 reps now. So I want to get 5 reps in the handstand push-up, and in brackets then I have an overhead press by my body weight. So again, that's not really the focus. If I have it in brackets, it's not really the focus, but just curious to see, can I get that as well? So I might do a little bit of overhead pressing, with the handstand push-up training, because it's still vertical pressing movement. They'll help each other, but maybe get that up to body weight as well. Then for the planche, I put in tuck planche. So, basic enough goal, 6-second hold. I'm just keeping that very basic because I'm not really going to be doing much work on it. Front lever, then I put in straddle front lever for 6 seconds. So I have done some front lever stuff, like I could do a tuck front lever for 6 or 10 seconds. So this would be 2 progressions after that. So straddle front lever 6 seconds, and then bottom one, 1 minute 1-arm hang. So I actually did have hang goals that I forgot to put in the last one, but I hit the 2 minute 2-arm hang. I had the goal last year getting the 1 minute 1-arm hang. Just there in December, I got 58 seconds, so very close. So look, at least we'll have one to be ticked off very soon to get the ball rolling. So 1 minute 1-arm hang is the last one there. Lower body goals then, putting a 135 back squat. So astrogast back squat, 135. My max so far, like I was saying, is from a year ago. I haven't made much squat or any squat progress really this year with the injury. It'd be 30 extra kg, so look, around a bit less than 8 kg a quarter. So look, very manageable. We'll see obviously what happens, you know, if any other injuries and things get in the way. But yeah, 135 kg back squat is the goal. Then pancake. So I want chest to floor on the pancake, like I said. Have got elbows floor, got head to floor as well, but just want to get the full pancake. Middle splits. You know, this was one of the goals that could take me another, I don't know, 1, 2, 3 years, 4 years, who knows. It's a very tough one for me with the injuries that I've had. So I just want to aim for calves down. Now again, is that going to happen? Probably not, I don't know, but that's what I'm aiming for. Is just calves to touch the floor on the middle splits. We'll get the Van Dam eventually. Then at the bottom, yeah, this was something I just kind of like to tick off. I'm not training specifically for the deadlift, but it's going up from, you know, one arm pulling progress in the upper body and squat progress too. So when I tested the deadlift there, Chris was like at 145 kg on the deadlift, and I actually think I would have got more. I think I would have got 150, but there was no more weights in the shed on that little set. So yeah, I think I would have got 150. So yeah, want to get a double body weight deadlift without training the deadlift. Just, you know, that's pretty cool. Like, it's something, you know, I like to test things with training. So I want to just kind of show myself that I can get up to double body weight deadlift without training. It's pretty cool. And then after that, if I do want more deadlift progress, or even test out what gains I could get with actually training the deadlift, then I can change things. So yeah, I want to get up to at least double body weight deadlift from not training it, and then you can see for next year. So that's another one. I'm very, very confident I'll take that one off, maybe even a little bit more. Then, so I've changed the jiu-jitsu goals to martial arts. So, you know, with COVID, obviously, like I was saying, couldn't really do much jiu-jitsu, so now I'm changing it to martial arts training instead, because if I can't do jiu-jitsu, I'll do kickboxing, or I'll do something else, because I can do that here in the shed. So, you know, with the whole situation around COVID, you know, just try to focus on what you can do instead of what you can't do, you know, all around the stoic perspective of it. You know, the obstacle is the way. Try to see how you can come out better from the situation rather than worse. So, you know, instead of going kind of like I did last year of, oh, COVID happened, can't get jiu-jitsu progress, it's not my fault. You know, now I'm thinking, okay, cool, can't do jiu-jitsu, going to do kickboxing. So, you know, hopefully when this whole COVID thing calms down eventually, instead of me being like, oh, you know, whatever, a year, 2 years out of jiu-jitsu, now it's going to be like, oh, I actually had 1 or 2 years getting better at kickboxing, and now I'll get better at jiu-jitsu as well. Do you see what I'm saying? So trying to be, you know, anti-fragile, to read Taleb's book, that's what you want to do. Try and come out of these situations better than you went into them, even if it's bad situations. You know, it's the stuff I did on my leg break, and I broke my leg, tore my ankle ligaments. Then I focused all out on upper body. This is actually how I got the handstand push-up before. When I broke my leg and tore my ankle ligaments, as I was rehabbing that, I was focusing a lot more on upper body then, instead of making excuses. And that progress, continued progress rather than stopping, helped me get the handstand push-up last year. So look, it's a strategy you can use for anything. I'm going to use it now for jiu-jitsu and martial arts. So the main goal, train 3 times a week. You know, this is something in my control. Like I'm saying, I can't control exactly maybe what martial art I can do. I can train martial arts 3 times a week. You know, that's on me. So that's what I'm going to do. I prefer if it was jiu-jitsu. If not, we'll do some kickboxing. So for jiu-jitsu, if I can get back to it, I want to compete 3 times this year. That's the goal I had last year. But then, yeah, with COVID, obviously there wasn't competitions and stuff going on. So trying to compete 3 times a year. Brackets, purple belt. Would like to get to purple belt again. Obviously, if you're doing jiu-jitsu, you probably know, like, the belts aren't really the goals, you know, I just want to improve it, get better at it. But yeah, like, obviously that would be a sign I am improving if I went from blue belt to purple belt. And then the kickboxing goal is just to get coached. Now, I know that's very vague, like I was saying, I want it to be more specific, but once I do get a coach, I can make some goals with him. So yeah, the bottom line, I'm going to train 3 times a week, or this is the goal, train 3 times a week in martial arts. And if it's jiu-jitsu, I want to get competing 3 times over the year. Hopefully, you know, start moving towards purple belt, kickboxing, get coached in that. So that's the martial arts goals now, rather than just jiu-jitsu. Then over here, so I broke the skills up a bit differently. So like ninja skills, which is kind of gymnastics, breakdancing, and then other skills. So ninja skills for the gymnastics, same 2 from before that I didn't get. I want the back flip and the side flip. So going back to Jan's Gymnastics in Sandyford, hopefully, start working on those again. And then the break dancing, I can do that. I'm doing that by myself, you know, YouTube University. There's a lot of stuff online for free, which is why, you know, I'm putting out some stuff on my page too. The windmill and the swipe are the 2 that I'm working towards there. So I've already got a little bit of progress on the windmill, so I'm going to push that on. I want to be able to do the windmill, that'd be pretty cool. So going after that one. And then, yeah, other skills is where I have the 6-ball juggle. So like I said, got to the 5-ball juggle, and yeah, I want to take that up to 6-ball juggle now. And yeah, with the piano, I'm not going to put it in. There's not, you know, I've no real drive to learn the piano right now at the moment, so I'm not going to, you know, as I'm saying, don't kid yourself on it. Don't just put it down if you've no real kind of push to do it. So yeah, like in future I can put other things, like if I want to learn language or piano or whatever, into this other skills, and I'll keep the kind of ninja skills separate. Then the last one that's kind of changed a good bit is around the conditioning. So I bought a road bike last year, actually, maybe it was June or July after COVID, you know, trying not to make excuses about it, trying to get back on the cardio. So I got that for improve my anaerobic conditioning, you know, and my mental resilience as well. You know, I hate the road bike, which is why I bought it. So I suppose one thing I did do good on that last year was I did an hour on the road bike, like intervals, so one minute on, 1 minute off for an hour, so technically 30 minutes on, 30 minutes off. So that was actually a good goal that I kind of made up at the time. That was, yeah, road bike is tough. So I will set some more specific road bike goals in terms of anaerobic, might get coached or do it myself, haven't decided yet. But then the second one here is the one I'm not looking forward to, and was kind of debating whether I put it in or not. So it's basically to do all the separate parts of an Ironman triathlon throughout the year. So if you don't know, Ironman triathlon is 3.9 kilometer swim, 42.2 km run, and 181 kilometer cycle. I think the cycle's before the run actually, but that's what the Ironman triathlon is. Like, I'm not planning to do a triathlon or anything like that this year, but thought it would be cool, you know, like I was saying before, instead of get my heart rate down to a certain level, you know, these are clear ones that I can hit, that I can have control over, is to be able to do these things. And yeah, blame Nick Bear for this one. If you don't follow him on YouTube, you can do that. Nick Bear, you know, obviously a really busy, really successful man working on his businesses, but he's still getting after it every day. Like, he's doing Ironman triathlons, he's training all the time. This is kind of stuff I watch maybe when I eat my dinner, throw on a few YouTube videos. His is a page that I've watched a lot recently, learned a lot from him too. So yeah, it's just inspired me, I suppose, to get back more on top of cardio goals, and that's where the triathlon thing came out of. You know, I wasn't going to put in something crazy like doing a triathlon while trying to hit all these other goals, but then I was thinking, look, I could just break it down and do the separate parts of it. Even when COVID happened and I stopped Jiu-Jitsu, I went swimming, you know, trying not to make excuses, choosing progress instead. I've already swam 3 kilometers, like, took me an hour continuous swimming, which I worked up to. So I could do it like that. That won't be that hard at all. 3.9 kilometer swim, I'm well on the way to that. The cycle as well, I don't think it'd be too bad. The run is going to be the tough one. The run, I was even debating just taking that out there a few minutes ago, but we're going to leave it in for now anyway. Yeah, it's just like I hate running basically. I just think it's really boring. For cardio, look, I'd rather do jiu-jitsu, kickboxing to get the cardio, but you know, I thought then I might as well have one goal in here that I really don't want to do for that purpose, you know, just be disciplined, pushing through something I don't really want to do. And yeah, I blame Nick Bear for that one. So that one's in there. I've ran 30 kilometers before, so not just the year past, 2019. I went from doing running barefoot shoes from the first time I tried to run, got like 200 meters. Ankles felt like they were going to explode, but worked all the way up through the year to 30 kilometers in barefoot shoes. So again, just showing you how adaptable the human body is. It was 5 months after tearing my ankle ligaments and breaking my leg as well. So look, we can do anything if we do it progressively. Like saying, because that's what people tell me, oh, you're running barefoot shoes, I could never do that. It's just like never benching and seeing someone benching 100 kg, like, oh, I could never do that. It's like, yeah, you can't do it now. You're not currently prepared to do it, but just like you could get a heavy bench, same thing with barefoot running and anything else. You can improve slowly over time. So that's the conditioning one, that's kind of capping it off. So yeah, that's the 2021 goals. I suppose to close off then, just 2 points around, you know, setting goals that may or may not help you. Hopefully it does. It's things that have helped me when I think about the goals. The first point, that's, you're going to be like, what is he on about? The first point is that I don't actually care about these goals, okay? So let me explain that. You know, I don't actually care about the goals. They're just showing me that I'm heading in the right direction. So I think of them like a North Star. If you're outside at night, you don't know where you're going. Oh, okay, there's a North Star, I'm heading in the right direction. Or if you're on a car journey, as you're driving, you get a bit lost throughout the year, and then you have your GPS to show you, okay, which way am I meant to be going? So what I mean by that is, like, my overarching goal for my whole training is literally just preparing my body to be the healthiest it can be, the strongest it can be, the most resilient to injury, so that I can do whatever I want to do for life, all the way up to the day I'm put in the ground. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be this one, you know, stuck in a home or at 60 and can't do things. You know, this is why I'm training health first when I started with the mobility. So that's it. Train to have the healthiest body possible to do whatever I want to do You know, no one's going to tell me these things again, that I can't do things I want to do, which has happened to me before. So now this is in my control, and I'm going to, you know, take up new things I want to do. You know, I've wanted to do these things when I was a kid, when I was younger, backflips, you know, training martial arts, love watching UFC and all this type of stuff. So yeah, just doing whatever I want to do and not letting my body hold me back, because this is in your control, even if you don't realize it. So that's literally the overarching goal. But then to start moving me towards that, I need to have little markers I can be hitting off along the way. So to get the strongest I possibly can, be the most resilient to injury, this is all the strength and mobility goals here. So like when I'm thinking of how can I get strong as possible, what's the kind of epitome of upper body strength, like one arm chin up, that's what's coming into my mind, you know what I mean? So that's why I have all these goals here. They're going to push me on getting me, you know, as strong and mobile as I can. Have strength and mobility goals there, and then it's going to enable me to do all these other things, which is, you know, it's hitting my overall goal of just healthy, resilient body, do whatever I want to do. And that's just for me, you know. And then obviously recently when I changed careers and stuff, I'm just sharing this with you to, you know, hopefully inspire you to do the same, and not, you know, not settle for things like that if you think you can't chase these goals, or if your body's holding you back. It's just from misinformation. It's not the case. So that's the first point. The second point on goals is there's no one way to do it. Like when you're setting goals, like, by the way, some people are going to watch this and say, you know, Mark, maybe if you didn't have fucking 20 goals and you just picked one or two, you'd get there a lot quicker. Like, I know that, you know, that's the truth. If I just picked one or two, I would get there quicker. But again, you know, you need to zoom out and think of the why. Like, why are you chasing these goals? What's the reason behind it? I'm very much a generalist. I'm not, you know, I wouldn't enjoy just chasing one or two goals. Like I've done it before where I just do mobility, or just do strength, or just do jiu-jitsu, and I start to burn out a bit after a while, and I start to not enjoy it as much. I actually like the variety. Like my week now is 10 sessions where like 3 jiu-jitsu, you know, 4 kind of 2 sessions upper body, 2 sessions lower body, maybe 1 session of ninja skills, 1 session of conditioning. I like the variety. This is part of enjoying the process. So again, go back to 1 or 2 analogies. Like if you had to do a tour of America, and you know, you had the one option of doing it as, you know, quick as possible, going straight from here to there, straight from here to there, have it done a lot quicker. I'd rather take the scenic route, you know what I mean? Like I'd rather take the scenic route, take the longer route, which is what I'm doing here. You know, I'm not reaching them as quick as I would want, but that's fine, because I'm doing it in a way that I'm going to enjoy the process the whole way through. You know, there's no point sacrificing your enjoyment for training just to reach the goals, because if the goal is the end point, like I'm saying, for me it's not, it's just showing me I'm heading in the right direction. If the goal is the end point, you'll get there and you'll feel pretty empty. You know, once you get it afterwards, what's going to happen then? So like, that's why once I hit these goals, it doesn't really, like, they're not the main thing. Once I hit that, then I want 5 1-arm chin-ups or something else. So they keep going on and on. The goals aren't the end point at all. Like, there is no end destination for progress, and I'm just looking for progress really in all these areas. So that's my other bit of advice. Like, do it in a way that works to you. Maybe the 1 or 2 goals does work for you, then do it that way. But I'm just saying, for people like me, more the generalists, you know, you can pick loads of things and just start ticking off towards them slowly. Like, that's like what I did with the front splits. I still got it after 2 years, but I was training all these other things as well. So that's the way I want to do it. You know, I know, play the long game, check the ego, you know, chase the small gains, be consistent. Progress is inevitable in time anyway. Like, I'm going to hit all these eventually. Is it 1 year, 2 or 3, 5, 10? I'm going to hit them. So, you know, I might as well enjoy myself along the way and not rush there and then not have enjoyed the time I spent working towards them. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on goals. And yeah, so obviously I'll put my Instagram link down below as well. You can follow me. Like, I'm throwing up training every day, put up stories every day for, you know, inspiring people, or that's the hope, you know, educate and inspire people with the information that I put out there, or sorry, the content I put out on YouTube and Instagram as well. So yeah, I think that's it. And obviously, yeah, like the services I offer, mobility programs, like you know, I want to show you what's possible basically, because I was that guy 3 years ago. You know, if the people were telling me like my body wasn't able to have so many injuries, this and that, if they looked at some of my goals for 2021 back then, you know, they wouldn't have believed it. So, you know, I just want to inspire people like that, not to settle. There is better ways to train your body, to prepare them to do the things that you want to do. So that's what I cover in the mobility membership that I have. So, you know, if that's you want to get back to doing things that you love, then, you know, hit me up on Instagram, send me a DM, and I can give you more information on it there. So that's why I'm sharing this, you know what I mean? I just want to show you what's possible. If you don't settle, progress will be inevitable in time. So yeah, what do they say? You know, can't try to change the world, just try and change yourself. Put that out there, and you know, that's what I've done last year. Helped loads of people. Like, that's why I'm doing it. Helped, was it over 50 people on 3-month programs or something like that? That it was, you know, getting back, either running, playing Gaelic, playing sport, just getting out of chronic pains. Helped some high level athletes, which was, you know, crazy. It was really cool. Like even helping Harry Purcell, you know, he was aiming to go to the Tokyo Olympics. Helped him get over some injuries. Got back and won his first men's national title in sprinting. So yeah, whether, you know, you're everyday person, weekend warrior, elite athlete, it's all the same. We can all train to move better. We can all prepare our bodies better for the things that we want to do. So yeah, I suppose kind of a bit off topic there on the goals, but yeah, I just want you to not settle, get after the goals that you want as well. So yeah, that's it. There's my 2021 goals. Comment down below if you want. You know, let me know a bit about your goals as well, or hit me up on Instagram. And yeah, let's get after it for 2021.